I was sitting there in my living room, minding my own business, scrolling through YouTube when I got this ad.
The people need some kindness.
You know, I really don't remember you being this opinionated.
Brother,
And I immediately turned that junk off and instead put on a certified classic, the Soviet Snow White. So our tale begins with Snow White being born and her mom getting shoved into the grave immediately. So the king is like,
No.
and soon finds himself another wife, and Snow White's stepmom is so pretty that even the narrator starts glazing, only to then call her vain and shallow, like, my guy, make up your mind, this whiplash is gonna get my head spinning. So the queen's got this magic mirror who she constantly pesters about who the prettiest girl in the kingdom is, cause she's insecure, and let me tell you right now, this mirror is the biggest instigator in the entire film. But all is well in the kingdom until Snow White gets to be 18, cause on her birthday the queen asks the mirror, am I the prettiest? And the mirror's like,
I mean, it's alright, like...
your stepdaughter though.
Oh, boy! Yeah!
You see what I mean about this instigating ass mirror? So the evil queen goes to her handmaiden and is like, take Snow White for a hike to the woods, but make sure she doesn't come back.
I don't know how he did it, but he made that sound bloody threatening.
So the handmaiden takes Snow White into the woods and she immediately gets lost. Girl got the directional sense of Zorro.
なんでだ道がねえいくら方向音痴でも限度ってものがあるだろうがこの見晴らしのいいとこで道に迷うかよ普通
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
So the handmaiden goes back to the evil queen like,
Hey, Dad!
but luckily Snow White manages to stumble onto a big ass fort in the woods like, damn, just look at this place.
Now that is a big door.
And look at it, it even has a cute little doggo. Oh.
かわいいわね。
あいつ喧嘩売ってねえが
生意気だな
うめえのかな。
So Snow White immediately starts cleaning up and making dinner. She's like the reverse Goldilocks.
You're a daft, fat, slow-thinking, no-reading, Lyme disease, flea-ridden, dingleberry bear.
Wifing material right there. Meanwhile, back at the palace, Snow White's boyfriend finds out that she's missing and immediately sets out to find her. Back in the forest, the owners of the cabin return to find their house cleaned up and dinner cooking on the stove, and are like,
oh, it smells healthy in here. I like that. I like that.
these are 7 buccateers, or knights, and not whatever the hell this CGI abomination is. Snow White comes out and they give her bread, salt, and water, which is a Russian tradition symbolizing that she's actually welcome there. I would freaking hope so. She's out here working for free. So some time passes, signified by, this bird-on-bird violence. So the brothers go inside the house and basically say to Snow White, hey, you want to get hitched? But she's like,
No.
and hits them with a double whammy of, I got a boyfriend and I see you like a brother.
夢を叶えて死を選ぶ
But the 7 brothers take it remarkably well and actually respect her decision. Bro, how is this Soviet film from like the 60s a better representation of feminism than anything made today? So the hating-ass queen walks up to the mirror and is like,
Feed me and tell me I'm pretty.
but this instigating-ass mirror says,
If you had a sister and a dog, I'd choose the dog.
bro, mirror, for once in your life, lie! So the evil queen finds out that Snow White is alive.
I will cut a bitch.
So while the brothers are out on a hunting trip, the evil queen transforms into an old hag and walks up to the fort, but the dog is instantly suspicious and starts barking at her. But she starts beating the dog with a stick. I mean, at this point, hell no, the dog and the queen need to start throwing hands.
Out of my way
But at that moment, Snow White walks outside and the queen begs for some food, so Snow White gives her some bread, and in exchange, the hag gives her an apple. Honestly, with how she's been acting, Snow White should have just chucked that thing right at her head.
Terrorists, they ran that way. It was a run by fruiting.
But the dog starts crashing out and runs 80 miles an hour to go get the knights. Man, shout out to the dog, the real hero of the story. But regardless of his efforts, he's too late and Snow White is dead as hell.
D-E-D. Dead.
And then somebody killed this bitch.
I don't care if she's a girl or a baby or somebody's grandmother. I'll still knock her out.
So her selfish ass runs to the mirror and is like,
Tell me I'm pretty.
and I swear, if this mirror starts instigating, I will go in there and fight you myself.
You were saying?
So the mirror's like, yes, for crap's sake, you're the prettiest. Stop asking. Meanwhile, the prince has been looking for Snow White this whole time because she's his ride or die. And this man gets so desperate that he asks the sun and moon for help locating her. This man is clearly delusional.
Oh my god! ついにみんな暑さのせいでおつむがやられちまったか
But to my surprise, the sun actually answers him. And tells him, I don't know where she's at, my man. You should go ask the wind. So this man rides into a whole ass hurricane just to ask the wind for some help. Ladies, if your man isn't riding into a full-blown typhoon, he's not the one for you. So the wind is like, oh yeah, I know where she's at. And finally, the prince is able to locate her dead in a crystal cave.
He's supposed to be dead!
Yeah, weird.
And I don't know what possesses this man to smooch a corpse, but it works. So the evil queen starts looking at the mirror again and is like, who's the prettiest girl in the world? And this instigating ass mirror is like, and just to rub it in, the mirror starts playing a video of Snow White with her new boo. I mean, this man is clearly hating for the love of the game. And at that moment, the happy couple ride up, and she literally kills over and dies from jealousy. And on literally the same day, the Princess Snow White get married.
We shall have a wedding. Or a hanging. Either way, we ought to have a lot of fun, huh?